Hello and welcome to another episode of Whether or Not. I'm your host, Benjamin Iaia, joined here by our forecaster, Gavin Sandel. And Gavin, meteorological winter started on Friday, December 1st. But tell me, how is the weekend looking for this time of year?
Well, you're absolutely right. Welcome to meteorological winter. Although we're not going to be feeling like winter going into this weekend. Friday, we'll have a little shot of rain coming our way. And then going into Saturday and Sunday, it'll be more mild. Highs in the 40s and 50s, but next week it should be a little better, more close to seasonable temperatures.
Well, speaking of a slightly warm winter, Maddie Olms will be having a feature tonight talking about the recent warming trends in winter. But first, here is Nature in the News.
Snowfall is declining globally as temperatures increase due to human-caused climate change, new analysis from NOAA shows. Decreases in wintertime snow is most notable in the Midwest region of the country, where spots from Virginia to Missouri have experienced a 30% decrease in precipitation falling as snow. Interestingly, the eastern and western coasts of the country display the opposite story, conveying the complications of changing precipitation patterns with climate change. For example, though the overall trend was positive, the actual number of days that snowfall was experienced decreased in those areas. This is a telltale sign of an increase of extreme snow events, such as nor'easters. Year-by-year snowfall matters most in mountainous regions, such as the Rockies, where lots of people rely on melted snow as water supply. In instances where snowfall dips during a given year, consequences can be dire, such as the drought that plagued California's water supply in the late 2010s. As it stands now, nothing much now can be done to avoid the effects of the slow but sure change of climate. But taking steps to minimize your ecological footprint can hopefully limit any worse effects in the future.
Billions of dollars worth of precious metals lie at the bottom of the ocean. The most useful of these materials, iron and manganese ores, have large deposits deep under the water surface, and mining companies are aiming to begin mining at the ocean floor. Environmental activists and scientists are concerned that underwater mining could disrupt the delicate ocean floor ecosystems, and studies have been conducted to see how life is impacted by these operations. Scientists in Norway have turned to an unlikely specimen in order to study the mining impacts, which is on the helmet jellyfish. The helmet jellyfish is a rather large jellyfish, about the size of a dinner plate, and it is on the firmer end of jellies. It does not become a blobby mess when brought up to the surface. These jellyfish can also be found in every single ocean basin, except for the Arctic Ocean, in waters over 1,000 feet deep. This makes them an ideal specimen to study due to their range and location near where the underwater mining operations would be. The scientists added sediments to the tanks that held the jellies, and a striking visible change occurred. The jellyfish excreted excess mucus to protect themselves from these sediments. On a deeper level, some of the genes that code for repair and immune responses became more active. This leaves the jellyfish stressed and could take so much energy out of the jelly that it could possibly starve. If the population of jellyfish begins to decline, this could have impacts on us. Fish oftentimes prey on jellyfish, and a decline in jellyfish population would lead to a decline in fish populations, some of which are ones we also enjoy eating.
A landslide in southern Alaska last week claimed the lives of 4 people. On November 20th, the small fishing town of Wrangell, Alaska was changed forever when a large tract of land on the adjacent mountain slid down into the path of 3 houses. Of those, 2 of the houses were occupied at the time. 4 out of 5 members of the first house, the Heller family, perished due to the impact. The 5th member, a 12-year-old boy, is missing as of November 29th. Another man who lived in the neighboring house is still missing, though his wife was able to escape from the rubble. The area where the landslide struck had been plagued with rainfall the days before and on the natural disaster, with more than 3 inches of rain falling around Wrangell in the prior 24 hours. Winds of 61 to 87 miles an hour on the evening of November 20th may have been a factor in the landslides as well. In addition to the 3 houses, the road linking the homes to the town center 13 miles north was swamped with mud and debris, although the 450-foot wide swath was cleared from the road in the days after the landslide. Crews are still working on locating the 2 missing people, though they'll have to battle unsettled conditions through the rest of the week. we've been blessed with some pretty reasonable conditions this week, although starting Friday that will change. Let's time it out. Friday, a low pressure system associated with a stationary front actually will move its way in here, bringing rain more so towards the afternoon hours. And really the whole Northeast and the Midwest, that's when they'll see the rain. It'll be more of a deluge kind of rain, not so scattered, but more so kind of for the whole entire day. It'll just be a downpour. So if you have any plans on Friday, really in all this whole area, this is probably not the time to do it, and going into Friday night as well. For Saturday, the low pressure system, very mature, will start to fizzle out, and some of the lingering precipitation will continue in the Northeast, maybe New York into the rest of the New England area. There is also a low pressure system that's going to develop in the south, and that should see portions there should see rain showers more towards the Carolinas. So we'll be kind of caught in the crosshairs. We'll be left with a mild yet cloudy day for Saturday, and going into Sunday as well. Some more lingering precipitation will be expected for the Northeast, and that low pressure system will kind of drag itself up north. So the warm air will be funneling in, will kind of remain in the 50s, but we should look good. Maybe a chance of precipitation we'll see, though, going into Sunday. This is when our highest chance of precipitation is 43 degrees for Friday, with that afternoon rain continuing on overnight, 37 degrees. It will be close to freezing, but there shouldn't be too much of a worry for any mixed precipitation or snow. It should exit for Saturday, 48 degrees. We will remain cloudy, and going into Saturday night, that will be our best chance for any nice blue or black skies at dark. 40 degrees, that is close to our normal high as well for this time of year. Sunday as well, looking a little mild, 52 degrees, yet those dark skies are making it a little bit dreary. Maddie Olms has a feature about warming winters coming up.
Meteorological winter begins on December 1st and is the fastest warming season for most of the U.S. On average, winters have warmed by 3.8 degrees Fahrenheit since the 1970s. The most rapid warming has occurred when it's coldest and where it's coldest. This includes at night, in the northern parts of the country, and during winter. The winter season takes place during December, January, and February. About 74% of locations have experienced winter as the fastest warming season. These locations span from coast to coast, but warming winters are most predominant in the Northeast and in the Great Lakes region. Out of 240 cities analyzed, 233 cities have witnessed increased average winter temperatures since 1970. 206 of those locations have warmed by 2 degrees Fahrenheit or more. On average, winters in the Midwest warm by about 4.7 degrees, winters in the Northeast have warmed by 4.6 degrees, and winters in the Ohio Valley have warmed by 4.3 degrees. Aside from those collective regions, the cities with the most warming are Burlington, Vermont, Albany, Georgia, and Chattanooga, Tennessee, with average temperatures rising by 7.7, 7, and 6.7 degrees Fahrenheit, respectively. The warming season is also reflected in the growing number of winter days with the temperatures above normal for various regions. In 95% of cities, the average number of warmer than normal winter days have increased. 84% of the cities have experienced at least 7 or more warmer than normal winter days than they did in 1970. In the Northeast, there have been 16 or more warmer than normal winter days on average, and 14 days more on average in the upper Midwest. The cities that have experienced the most number of warmer than normal winter days are Las Vegas, Nevada, Honolulu, Hawaii, and San Francisco, California, with an increase of 30 days, 27 days, and 27 days respectively. Even though our world is warming, there are still freezing nights, cold spells, and extremely cold days. They are just fewer, shorter, and warmer. 85% of locations across the U.S. have experienced 13 fewer freezing nights. 97% of locations have experienced shrinking winter cold snaps, which have shrunk by 6 days on average, and 98% of locations have experienced annual minimum temperatures that have warmed by at least 1 degree Fahrenheit. The average trend across those cities was a 7 degree Fahrenheit rise in annual minimum temperatures. In 42 cities, the annual minimum temperature had risen by 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Warming winters have had effects in many areas. some areas being western water supplies, energy use in homes, disease-carrying pests, and snow and ice. In regard to western water supplies, warmer winters can reduce mountain snowpack. This is a critical source of spring meltwater that refills reservoirs, helps irrigate crops, and help meet peak water demand across the western U.S. during the summer season. Warmer winters also affect the energy use in homes. This has allowed for a decrease in residential natural gas use. Although there are more winter energy savings, those savings can be offset by the cooling demand that has almost doubled summer residential energy usage. Warmer winters can even affect disease-carrying pests. Previously, cold winters helped to keep pest populations in check, most notably the mosquito population, but warmer and shorter winters can worsen the pest-related health risks. With the warmer season, the two features that we recognize most are affected as well, those features being snow and ice. Warmer winters can affect the timing, location, the amount of snowfall, and the coverage and duration of lake ice. This could impact businesses for people, ecosystems for a variety of species, and water supplies in different regions of the U.S. Winters are warming and will continue to have impacts on many aspects of our lives as we continue to move forward. For Whether or Not, I'm Madison Olms.
Heading into the weekend and the week ahead, we will fit the mold of what Maddie was talking about in her feature, a warmer December and a warmer winter for sure. Friday won't be much like that. We'll have the rain coming in the afternoon with a high of just 43. But as we go into the weekend, those southerly winds, will start to filter in, and we'll see a more mild but dreary weekend, 48 on Saturday. And as I mentioned, 40 degrees, that should be around what our average high is, though we will see our low for that on Saturday. Sunday, not much of the difference, 52 degrees. Monday, we will see a little bit of residual rain from that low pressure system coming up the mid-Atlantic coast. Though Tuesday, going into Wednesday and Thursday, should look better. Temperatures really at or below average. And then going into Friday, that's when it'll start to rebound, highs at about 40 to 45 degrees for the end of that week. But really the thing that's missing from this forecast, especially in the month of December, is a little bit of snow. And Ben, that's what you'll be talking about in your Weather Whiz quiz today, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Gavin. For this week's Weather Whiz quiz, the question that we are asking is, in what year did the highest 24-hour December snowfall occur in State College? Was it A, 2020, B, 2007, C, 1998, or D, 1974? And if you said option A, 2020, you would be correct. And Gavin, in 2020, for December, we actually saw 15 inches of snow on the 17th of that year at the Walker Building. So that's actually almost half of what we would expect for an entire winter. So that was certainly a significant weather event.
Absolutely. And I mean, I don't think it'll be much of the same this year. We're expecting a very warm and seasonable December. But yeah, maybe we'll look ahead to the future. Maybe we'll see something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I could use a snow day or two for right now.
Absolutely.
But unfortunately, with that, we are out of time. Join us next week for another jam-packed episode of Whether or Not. From all of us here at Whether or Not, thank you, and have a good day.